It's not every day in the midst of a global pandemic that a new airline is launched, and it's even more intriguing when the very airline starting up is reminiscent of an existing failing one. Tune in to find out just what airline is coming to the aviation industry.
People 851, turn right heading 180. 14 Papa, turn right 245, report localizer established 27.
Norse Atlantic Airways is the carrier in question that has just been recently announced as a concept looking to be turned into an airline by the end of this calendar year. However, it has the earmarks of another airline that is already flying to some capacity and has recently been crumbling. Norse Atlantic Airways will be based in none other than Norway and will fly out of other European locations, in addition to having a base in Norway as mentioned. The plan is for the airline to fly on long-haul services with a specific focus on transatlantic flights. You might think to yourself that this is already beginning to have the earmarks of another airline we know, that being Norwegian, and you wouldn't be mistaken in thinking that. This is only added when it has also been revealed that the new airline will fly with the Boeing 787s on its international services. Once again, this is exactly what Norwegian did. Norse Atlantic Airways, a name I personally quite like, is already close to beginning operations with currently an eye for December of 2021 as the start date. While no specific routes have actually been provided to us as of yet, it is very likely the airline will focus on flights out of big cities in Europe, like that of London, Paris, and naturally Oslo, and enter service through to the United States, the big two being New York, and potentially as far as the west coast of the country to Los Angeles. Miami could also be another target city for the airline. As for what New York airport it will fly into, that remains to be seen. But with the launch of December 2021 and a vaccine rollout in Europe and the States progressing rapidly, it's a better time to launch than right now, as you'd be under the impression that by December of 2021, it is highly likely that travel corridors will be opened up and people will be allowed to fly there, should of course they have the vaccine. The airline is in addition progressing rapidly with acquiring these Boeing 787s fit for operation. Currently, a total of 12 are looking to be brought on, which are actually the former Norwegian 787s, and you'll hear why this is also familiar shortly. And as for those Boeing 787s, the carrier has already, at this stage, managed to reportedly secure the lease for a total of 9 of them, so they just have 3 remaining till they reach the mark of 12, which was, of course, one of their goals. The low-cost unit is being launched by a number of, you could say, industry experts, or at the very least, veterans to the trade. The 3 individuals that will take up the founder's role and different executive positions, if you will, and also the setting up of the airline, along with future board members and additional executives, have all in the past had high-ranking roles at various aviation companies worldwide, but more notably Norwegian. One even is a former CEO of Norwegian Air Shuttle, who specifically departed in 2019, following the carrier closing in on a collapse. What are your thoughts, though, on Norse Atlantic Airways, and do you see it working in the future? Do you believe this will become the natural-born replacement for Norwegian, which, as we know, recently cut all of their international flights? Or do you think Norwegian will now act as a carrier flying throughout Europe, connecting customers with Norway? Whereas Norse Atlantic Airways will focus more on the international sense and, as we've seen, transatlantic travel with the Boeing 787. Let me know down below, and like always, thank you so much for your continued support. Please take care, and I will see you in the next video, which will be going live tomorrow.